please join me in welcoming the director of Hamnet, Chloé Zhao.
Hello. Hi. First thing first, I would like to welcome onto the stage my Hamnet family. Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, Emily Watson, Jacobi Jupe, and Noah Jupe. Just quickly say hi. Here, quickly say hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Hello. We're going to get out of your way.
No, it is on set, yeah. Like to thank Cameron, deep gratitude, and everyone at Toronto International Film Festival for giving us this opportunity. And also, Focus Features, thank you for your passion, your patience, and your endless support. I'm a little nervous, so ask for your grace. I want to deeply thank all of you for choosing to be here today with us and also with each other. What I love the most about being on a film set and also being at a film festival is that a group of people, mostly strangers, choose to come together, share time and space with each other, and form this community and this found family. It doesn't matter how long and short the duration is. I find great solace in that. I love it. Because as many of you know, the world can be a very lonely place sometimes. So when we're on set, we always want to make sure that we take our time and do some somatic exercises to remind ourselves that we're here with each other and how special that is. So we would like to humbly invite all of you to join us for one of those exercises. It's a breathing exercise to honor the presence that you are so generously sharing with us and with each other. It's very short and completely optional. Completely optional. It works exactly the same if you just witness. But if you would like to join us, we start with looking around this room, this beautiful theater, and see if there's anything that you haven't noticed before. And then we look at the people around us. Go to your left, to your right, in front, and definitely behind as well. And if you like, put a hand on the center of your chest. And only if you feel comfortable, gently close your eyes. Let the weight of your body become a little heavier in your seat. And feel the ground underneath your feet. The city of Toronto holding you safe and strong. And now we're just going to take 3 deep breaths together. And on the out breath, we will sigh out loud. Feel the vibration of our own voice. Beautiful. Our own voice in our chests. And also the vibration of the voices of your neighbors. Breathe in together. And sigh out. Beautiful. One more. And on this last one, see if you can let one layer of responsibilities and pressure drop away. Know that you don't have to carry it alone. We have each other right now. It is why we came together. Breathe in and sigh. And now feel the warmth that has gathered underneath your palm against your chest. And gently pat on it. This is my heart. These are our hearts. All of our emotions and feelings are welcome. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And look around the room again. And at the people to your left, and the people to your right. Front and back, if you like. Our hearts are so full because of you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the show. Just to say that life imitates art, Paul has to get on his horse and go to shoot the Beatles. And so we said...
I'm ready to take him down.
Yeah, I was like, how can you leave now? And Jessie swinging at him, but he dodged and he left. He sends his love. I'm
We're
sorry.
glad you're all here. Chloé, I want to begin by asking you about why this project now, after your Oscar-winning Nomadland and your Marvel epic, The Eternals, and I'm not sure if that was the actual sequence, but what drew you to this film now?
Well, I made 4 films in my 30s, and they were horizon and sunset chasing films. They go very wide and expansive. And I realized when I turned 40, and in my 40s, when I go through some difficult midlife crisis stuff, I realized I was also running away from myself, very similar to Will in the film. So the challenge I was looking for is a project where I'm on one stage, in one room. I'm still silent with myself. There's nowhere else to go but to descend. You know, it's really uncomfortable. But this, when I read Maggie's book, it provided the perfect container for that. And then I met Jessie and Paul. There was no question after that.
Yeah. I want to ask you, and you, Jessie, as well, about the character of Agnes Shakespeare, who really emerges in the film as someone who's the repository of the deepest emotions of this story, but maybe hadn't been as well known until it emerged in Maggie's book and now in the film. Can you talk about what were the important elements in conveying about this woman, and at this time as well, when the lives of women were very different, perhaps, than they are now?
Well, she's not that different to the women that are around now. But I think that the journey that I went on in living with this character and the river that Chloé invited me in to feel with this character was something I was looking for, I was terrified of, was the kind of fierce tenderness that she led her heart open with. you know, sometimes to be a strong woman, it comes with the projection of like you're the forest witch, basically, of the wood. And I am. But that usually is kind of, the projection's too much, and you can walk around your life defensive, but also starving for the very love and life that you want to feel, which is why she keeps returning to the woods, to the precipice of love, where she has kind of narrated her experience of death in this woods, having loved the mother that she knew. And when this character came, and when Chloé asked me to step into this river, the tenderness was the thing that hit me like a tsunami the most and changed me forever.
Chloé, you began the event today with leading us through a breathing exercise, and I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that kind of process and that kind of practice, and how you bring that into your filmmaking. And I'd like to hear from the actors as well in terms of the creative culture that you create on set.
And I have been, I think, speak honestly, had a difficult upbringing and really didn't feel safe in my own body and had to go into my mind. I'm very grateful for that because it led me to storytelling. But then you can't live your whole life like that. So I was working with different modality of somatic release. And then I met Jessie, and she introduced me to dream work, which is probably the most vigorous way of working with your subconscious and also the collective unconscious. And so from earlier on, we knew, like she said, this woman right here and that woman 500 some years ago, physically hasn't changed that much. Maybe a little like distracted by cell phones and stuff. but when you still feel the same pain giving birth, you still feel the same heartache when the man you love has to leave. So the idea is drop into the body and the unconscious to try to open a channel between her and Agnes, between Emily and Mary, you know, and the brothers to Hamnet and Hamlet. And so then when we're on set, they can be as present as possible. And so sometimes breathing, you know, our version is a lot more rigorous. At the Shakespeare's Globe, we would spend 15 minutes before each take and just play Max Richter always helps. and then drop all the audience together back into their body, and actually we feel truly that we're not that different from each other once we're in our body.
Interesting. And Emily, Noah, Jacobi, what was that practice like for you as actors? Had you done that sort of thing before, or was this new in terms of Chloé's practice?
Answering this question makes me feel very nervous in a way that I don't usually in this situation, simply because Chloé invited us on a journey which was just honest and asked us to take a journey inside ourselves to see how we were present in this story. And I had a lot of connectivity with Shakespeare already. I think I stopped the show at the RSC when I was about 7, laughing so much at Judi Dench's
Really?
Much Ado, yeah. And
You grew up with Shakespeare.
my first job was at the RSC. Mm-hmm. I met my husband there. My daughter's called Juliet. My husband's family are from Stratford-on-Avon. I have a lot of connections there. So when the dream work lady asked me to, where do I connect with this? It was a very profound experience for me. It added to the fact that I was there to be beside my very good friend and support her through all this that you've just seen. So I don't really know what the question was or what the answer was. But it meant so much to me just to be in the room.
And Jacobi and Noah, can you talk a little bit about what being on set, working with this group of actors and working with Chloé was like?
Definitely one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. We were all just a family on that set, honestly. It was just so special, like, when I first met Jessie and Paul and Olivia and Bodhi, we all did a dream work session where we all lay on the ground and we would listen and use our senses to like feel each other almost, and then after that we were a family. We were just connected, and that really helped on set.
Thank you. Beautifully said.
Yeah, I was getting a tad bit jealous because I was working on another job, and Jacobi would call me and be like, today we all like connected and it was so spiritual, and I was there and I was like, this sounds fucking great, like what's going on? And then, luckily enough, one day I get a call from Jacobi and Chloé, and they say, do you want to play Hamlet? And that was, no-brainer.
Chloé actually tried to surprise me, but there's no surprising me. I did like an investigation to try and find out what.
Chloé, I want to ask you, and maybe the actors can jump in as well, about conveying grief on screen. It's not like some other emotions, anger, sometimes it's just, acting outwards, and there are actions associated with some emotions, but grief is a tougher one, I think. Can you talk about how you came up with how to shape anger through the performances of your actors? Grief, yes.
I can do anger too.
Yes,
I think
grief.
everyone, I'm sure some of you feel that tightness in the chest. It's unfortunately in our society that tightness just stays there. It doesn't have a place to be expressed, and sometimes it's even shamed. And I think I made, in many ways, every single of my film is about grief. It's about losing something that is incredibly important to someone: dreams, home, purpose, faith, loved ones, community, a child, love. And so life is incredibly difficult because, according to the law of nature, seasons will change. All those things I just mentioned, our achievement, everything we try to hold on to, our work, our passion, dreams, loved ones, ourselves, and maybe us as a species, we're born and we will die one day. And all living things must die, passing through nature to eternity. How do you hold that tension and still keep your heart open and live? Through making this film, and I also was experiencing my own heartbreak and heartache while making the film, I came out of it truly believing there is something that doesn't die. And we know scientifically energy doesn't. And you can also look at it as that love does not die, it transforms. And I think we hold on to that every day. It doesn't matter how much pain we're feeling in scenes, we try to alchemize that. And that's something every one of you and us can do. It's not just William Shakespeare. Sometimes we just forgotten. So, yeah.
And for the actors, it's a bit ironic, I suppose. This is a film about the Shakespeare families, perhaps the greatest known author, but so much of the emotion that's conveyed is beyond words. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about how you were able to convey the very big emotions in this film outside of the dialogue. What did you use in terms of gesture or other elements of your performance?
Oh God, I don't have a clue. I just got on the train and looked opposite these amazing faces. And also, you know, we have a fearless leader in Chloé Zhao who consciously creates a world and an energy for us to step in and also contain the biggest and hardest parts of where we have to go to. So when, on the days when we all had to go there, it felt very safe. It felt very like the potential to touch the deepest parts that have been locked down at the bottom of the ocean were given the care to come to the surface. And, you know, and that is everybody. That is the crew, the cast, the man who's making soup. Our gaffer actually did make soup every day. He would disappear for 3 hours and bring his Polish cast iron pot and go make soup and bring it back and you don't mind. But there was just deep humanity, you know. There's no, in the best way you want to, I mean, who knows? I don't know where grief ends and where grief begins, or where love ends and love begins. And we all dance in the precipice of life and death every day, and to love somebody is to learn to let them go, truly. And I think all you need is a big fat container, either with Chloé Zhao or William Shakespeare, to be able to reach the limits of what is possible in that.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
When we saw this film several weeks ago, a couple of months ago at least, people came out of the theater in our screening room, our selection team, some of us weeping. It summons very big emotions that I think surprise people, and I'm not sure if any of you had that experience today. This may be a crazy question, but what do we do with those emotions?
I know.
Great.
So at the end,
Oh my God.
dance.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that.
Yeah. So at the end of once a week, we do something called dance takes, especially in really difficult scenes. Like, for example, the scene where Hamnet died. And Jacobi, you want to tell everyone what we did?
I was, obviously in tears. So I said to Chloe, because it wasn't a Friday, so it wasn't the end of the week, and I said, could we just do a bonus dance take? And then Chloe was like, yeah, okay. And then I said, can we do Staying Alive? And so what we did was we got a shot of me dead, and then I came back to life again, which is fun, yeah.
And then the whole cast and crew were joined, and these takes time. I mean, thanks to Focus Features for being extremely patient, as the money burning, and we take sometimes. I mean, the Globe Theater, our last day, having swam in the river of grief with 300 cast and 200 crew. We decided to spend 3-4 hours choreograph this epic dance take to Rihanna's "We Found Love."
Oh my God, I love that.
And please, Focus, release that into the world. We have to get Rihanna to give us a cheaper version of that song, but we're working on that. But the jokes aside, is actually emotion is energy in motion. Some of you know this. It's when we start to put stories around that painful emotion. It's a physical emotion, grief, but when you attach two stories to it, that's when suffering happens. So actually, sometimes all you need is to get up and dance and shake and scream and punch pillow, and then it will move. And I think the restriction of the body that had happened to all of us for thousands of years had allowed people to control us over our grief, Because if it's not released, then stories could be attached to that, narratives, and therefore fear and control. So I could encourage more dancing, and more screaming, and more punching pillows.
It's going to be a big night in Toronto. I'm just
Yes.
like,
Starts now.
Toronto, there's a lot of places to dance and party.
Well, if there is a dance remix of Hamnet, I would like to see it. And I want to just invite you to join me in thanking the remarkable team from Hamnet, Noah Jupe, Jacobi Jupe, Emily Watson, Jessie Buckley, and director Chloé Zhao. Thank you.